gang. Hey, nothing but love and respect. You might have some cool fans, but mine are the best. We've been through it all, went to war when duty called. Never left a man behind, we move as one is super strong. I don't want followers, that implies I'm the leader. I'm not the captain, I just gave them something they can believe in. I hold the lamp in the darkness, but they're the light that I needed to see the road that we walk in between the angels and demons. And my fans have my back. Hate us if your feelings don't like facts. And my fans will fight back. Beat you with the keyboard you've been using to write back. I guess we need each other like both sides of the battery. We the army, we the homies, we the gang, we the cavalry. We're brothers and sisters, we hold it down like we gravity. Can't nobody break the bond that made us all family.
Me and my fans, we don't care what anybody say. Middle fingers to whoever in the way, man. Me and my fans, we gon' be together till the grave. It's a game till forever and a day, man. Me and my fans, we don't even trip in the hate. We the I don't give a fuck in our range, man. Me and my fans,
we the hangover gang. Gang, 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 gang.
Oklahoma weather can dish out some of the worst punishment in the world. Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Aaron Tuttle. But now you can fight back by installing Class 4 impact-resistant shingles from Ferguson Roof Systems. These shingles can withstand large hail, heavy rain, and hurricane-force winds, all while keeping your home safe and dry. And the best part? This upgrade is completely free for many homeowners. So call today to start reaping the benefits these Class 4 shingles bring, including a discount on home insurance. Only at FergusonRoofSystems.com.
Hey there, meteorologist Aaron Tuttle with you. It is about 9:40. I usually try to go on about 9:30, but I'm just looking at data. But what's funny is I noticed I got some competition now that tries to go on at 9:30 also. It's funny. I've been doing this for a while, since 2000. I think going live this way through 2014. And so it's so funny because I was telling somebody the day at the gym, he was asking all these questions. I said, well, at the beginning, I was the, quote, internet meteorologist, like a slang term, like a dismissive, don't listen to that guy, he's on the internet, and it was so hilarious. And I could name the names, did it on TV stations here in town. Obviously, they were all idiots, but the point was because they couldn't see the forest from the trees, which they realized their bosses liked what I did and then made them do it. So they had to work their existing stuff and then do this on top of it, what I do. And so now they have to do it. And so now they have to compete. And it's just funny because I'm competing with them. So now they got to turn around and compete with me. It's just something that I see on the back end of stuff that you guys have no idea about. It's entertaining. But it is what it is. And hey, we're going to keep going through it. So got a lot of weather to talk about. We've got a winter storm coming. We'll look at the latest data and see if anything's changed, if it's going to look a little better or a little worse, depending on where you live. So you come to the right place. We'll break it down for you, show you the meteorology involved, and get you up to date. Now, if you guys on YouTube, I see you, by the way, so thanks for checking in. On Twitter, also, I see you guys checking in as well. And on Facebook, make sure you hit this link if you'd like to get a direct notification through your instant messenger, your Facebook messenger, that is, whenever I do go live, so you don't miss anything. All right, so it's cold, 31 degrees, so I'm officially below freezing here at the house. Got a north wind at a whopping 0 miles per hour. So, but that's going to be changing as the winds will kick up and those temperatures, although we're going to go into a little bit of a mini climb up, they're going to come right back down. So here's a look, kind of a sneak preview. So we have here for Thursday and a Friday. We've got two areas of weather, so one across Oklahoma and one up north into Kansas and southern Nebraska. And parts of Missouri. Now, the stuff up there is for snow. So looking for a moderate to major impact for snowfall totals in that area. We're going to have a minor impact here for snow, but we're also going to have a limited or a light impact, looks like, for ice here across Oklahoma as well. Even there's a little spot up there across Kansas and northern counties. We'll get to that here in more detail in a second. This morning, by the way, it was cold. We're in the 20s and teens out there across the state. And this afternoon, another cold day. Not as bad as the day before, but we did manage to get out of the 30s at least. We climbed into the 40s this afternoon. A lot of the models here in Oklahoma City continue to kind of bump up snowfall totals a little bit. So there's a nice little cluster here, about around the 1-inch range. We're going to show you a detailed map on that here in a second. But first, we have to do a little bit of a freezing rain, sleet mixture before we transition over to snow. This is a look at how the atmosphere is programmed And this little area you see for orange and red, that's that mixture, winter mix here across northeast, central, and southwest Oklahoma. In other words, the atmosphere isn't quite cold enough at all levels to give us all this blue, which would indicate all snow. And that is for Thursday night into Friday morning. As we go into Friday, though, that area expands to the south and east, and the more that blue moves in as the system wraps up. So we will get some snow here in the Oklahoma City metro area, but first got to get a little bit of that light wintry mix. And at least right now, the ensemble runs from the short-term model is indicating some light amounts. This is really paltry, man. We're talking maybe 1/10 of an inch overall, and that's the lightest amount I've seen. Other models aren't quite that light. So what this does indicate is that the signal isn't there for a big, heavy event at all, but enough to cause a nuisance for you. So upper levels of the atmosphere, we'll take a look at this. Gesturing pattern shows us the storm system out to our west coming on in, and I'll stop it right here for midday Friday. The key takeaway from this is the upper level low is actually up here, and the energy trails back into a very elongated trough into this region as it comes through Oklahoma. So what that does, it provides an overall area of lift out ahead of this feature. But it's a long lift, a large area, but it's not a very potent one area where a lot of energy is focused, a lot of moisture is focused, so therefore you don't get a really good outcome as far as heavy precipitation, at least in our area. Now, the first mid-level wave of energy will be making its way in behind the cold front, which will get a little sneak peek into the state here for Wednesday night. And this little red indicates some pretty serious lift. But if I were to click a forecast sounding for that area of the state, what we notice here in the mid-levels, very saturated. These two lines are equal. So this is the temperature and the dew point that are come together in the snow growth layers. In other words, there's a lot of lift here, indicated on the left side of the screen. Freezing layers there. So we got a lot of snow developing. However, it has to fall between this corridor here, which is bone dry. That's some dry air. So what that means is a lot of this stuff will evaporate on its way down. So even though the forecast model does predict snow, a lot of this is going to evaporate on Wednesday night as the first little teaser of what's to come. And I can look at that in another view. We'll do it this way here for Oklahoma City, kind of give you an idea what that looks like. So if we look at a vertical, that was a sounding forecast I plotted. So if I were to, let's see, can I do this one? It gets ugly when I do this. I can't do that. Okay, so what happens in the vertical is this is the area where that snow and the moisture coincide. So it's got the overall of the omega, the lifting, so it's squeezing out the snow here. But look, it's got to go through this whole area of dry air, and it finally kind of saturated a little bit in early Thursday morning around the surface. That means a lot is wasted. So yeah, we'll probably get some flurries out of it, but I think that's about the most we're going to be able to see. It's too much of it's wasted to kind of moisten up the lower levels of the atmosphere. Then we do get moist because the cold front comes in and it traps that moisture in here. And as we go through time is this way. And as we here's a sneak peek for Thursday night and Friday, that's when we start to get our trouble. I'll get back to this map here in a second. I want to show you a flat two-dimensional view though, so that way you're not too confused. Also, as we talked about, this is the 850 millibar temperatures, which will show us the differentiation between all snow and a little bit of winter mix. So here's Thursday evening, by example, and the blue line, which is the freezing line, is way over here. So that means anything that falls in this region would be a mixed bag Thursday night into Friday morning. So we're going into Friday morning. Now right here at 6 a.m., you can see how that line has progressed now from about the south end of Tulsa County to just right around the Norman area, back down to Ardmore. So this would be your freezing mixture line. North and west of this would be all snow. So you can see we have a transitionary period. We're going to have a little bit of a mix, light stuff, and then it turns over to all snow in the morning, and then that mix continues to push down south and east with those colder air temperatures in the loft continues to move south and east. All right, so here's how things break down time-wise. Okay, so we got Wednesday. Let's go into Wednesday night, midnight. You can kind of see how the models are trying to indicate some of that little light precipitation that breaks out overnight. Like I said, it's pretty dry, low levels, so most I would see is some flurries out of it. And then we'll kind of focus in on what's going to happen for Thursday. Front comes in during the afternoon, so it will trigger some light showers out ahead of it here in central northern Oklahoma. Temperatures will be falling behind the front, of course. So Thursday lunchtime is great. Thursday afternoon, not so great. Especially Thursday evening, not so great. Here's 6 o'clock, 7, 8, and 9. Now, depending on the cold air, sometimes it comes a little stronger than the models indicate, but at least by 9 o'clock they do show the little mixture of icy mix here from northern Oklahoma to southern Kansas as it develops. So that's as early as Thursday evening by 9 o'clock. Now remember, today is Tuesday evening, so the models may still be a little slow on that colder air. So here's 10 o'clock and it now has it in Oklahoma City, for example. So if I were to do a point sounding on that, just kind of show you what it looks like. Here's that little warm nose right here, which indicates the freezing rain. And then now we're back below freezing. And there's a forecast sounding for freezing rain, which means driving in the late evening, overnight Thursday night, bridges, overpasses, some roadways will become slick and hazardous. But that continues through midnight hour. You can see it picks up here heavy in central Oklahoma, up to the northeast toward Tulsa. That's 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock. A lot of sleet getting mixed in here with this. There's 4 o'clock in the morning. Now we're getting that transition to all snow. So you see how quickly that I-44 corridor is the boundary. By 4 o'clock in the morning, north of this, all blue, that means transition to all snow. As we head into the 5 and 6, now we've got all snow here. It looks like in Oklahoma City, pressing down now toward Norman, and in Tulsa also changing over to all snow. So what that means is your drive time is going to be miserable. Just so you know, you early birds, you get to be the first to get a taste of what's going to be on the roadways. Now, beyond that time frame, I'll zip on into the afternoon hours, show you that big round of snow moves through midday. There's 12 o'clock through Tulsa and Oklahoma City, and then it starts to press quickly eastward out of Oklahoma. By the afternoon, it's gone. So this is a very short, quick system. Ice amounts, I'm going to show you. Let's go with the European here. So this is, can I zoom that out a little bit? Okay. Yeah, I'll do like that right there. All right, so this would be the freezing rain accumulation. Now, this is based off just the European model. If you'll notice, it's very light. Remember the last few storms, we had quite a bit of ice accumulation in the model data. This time around, very, very light. And it's so light it doesn't really even pick up the stuff here on the I-44 corridor. So don't think that it won't be there. It's just the point or the takeaway at this point in time in this data is that even the more substantial accumulations, up to maybe 0.2 of an inch, doesn't even occur until you get down here around maybe Durant and the Red River, just south of Ardmore. So right now, that's the signal that we're going to focus on. When it comes to the sleet, same kind of idea, a little better concentration down here in southern and eastern Oklahoma. Doesn't quite pick up the stuff here. Again, I think that's an error, but kind of gives you an idea, at least as far as amounts are concerned. They still look to be fairly light. And we look at the QPF for snow accumulation. Now this is where you have to multiply by a factor of about 10. So you take these little numbers here. This would be like the liquid equivalent if you were to melt it in the water. So for example, 0.22 multiplied by a 10-to-1 ratio, that equals 2.2 inches of snow. So there's 2 inches of snow in Oklahoma City, 2 inches Tulsa. There's some pockets here. You see some darker blue. And we'll just look at the data conversion for that. So this will be the actual snow amounts converted for you. So 1 to 2 inches here in central, eastern Oklahoma. There's some pockets of models are getting a little excited. Now they're going 3, maybe even 4 inches of snow in some areas. So it's still early, still in the game of snowfall forecasting, but this is, you know, as good of an estimate as any you're going to find right now, and basically probably about as accurate. If you look at the German icon model, it also has kind of 1 to 2 here in central Oklahoma and points east. Earlier it had some 3 to 4 sneaking in. It kind of backed off that a little bit, but we'll see. I tend to side with the European data when it comes to winter storms, especially when we're talking about them by themselves. If you were to blend all the models together, at the minimum, we're still looking at anywhere from a dusting of snow, you know, to flurries down here in southwest Oklahoma, just enough to kind of get something on the ground, to about 1 to 2 here, central, northern, eastern, with those pockets of heavier. And as we go through time, these numbers will change, get a bit more fine-tuned. The European ensemble runs, we look at all 50 of them. Every one of them, except for this one, so 1, 2, 3, don't produce snow. The other 47 do, and they vary in amounts, and they average out to about an inch here in Oklahoma City. So right now, all looks good for at least a light coating of snow here across the metro. All right, let's talk about temperatures, because things will go downhill, and then I'm going to wrap up for tonight. All right, here's a look at how tomorrow looks for your Wednesday afternoon. How about the 50s? Not too bad, right? Okay, then we got tomorrow night. So there's that Wednesday night, Thursday morning time frame. And there's those colder temperatures that do sneak in here into the 30s in the blue shading. across the western half of the state. As we head on into Thursday itself, we're going to rebound a little bit. That was kind of like the first wave of cool air, but it wasn't really the good Arctic frontal air that'll come in. So here's Thursday midday, like I talked about, pretty decent, almost 60 degrees here in Oklahoma City and points south. That's not too bad at all. But that front will come barreling quickly to the east and southeast for the afternoon. So moving into the 4 and 5 o'clock hour, moving into Oklahoma City, so temperatures will start to drop at that point in time. Again, assuming that the models have a good estimate on the arrival of the Arctic air, which they typically don't. It's usually a couple hours ahead of schedule, and it usually drops temperatures much colder initially behind the front. But that's all old news. All right, so let's go to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you recall, we started to see the precipitation on the map at this time here for central, northern, northeastern Oklahoma. So you can see how that's going to be that wintry mix here at the surface, which means temperatures where they're at or below freezing, you're going to have problems on the roadways, and that continues overnight as temperatures continue to cool down Friday morning on into the 20s. So hey, at least we're not cooling down into the teens or single digits, right? It is going to be windy though, so the winds will be gusting up around 25 to 30, maybe even 35 miles per hour for Thursday night and a Friday as that front moves in. And that will, of course, will affect the wind chill values. And we'll show you that here real quick. Let's get right here. Wind chill values for early Friday morning drop off into the teens and single digits. They improve slightly during the afternoon, but it's going to be cold and miserable day. Temperatures, like we said, cold and miserable. It's probably the high at midnight, the old 38-degree deal, and that's actually that'll bust because we'll probably be already at 32 by 10 o'clock. So this will bust already, and we won't rebound probably above the low 30s on Friday afternoon when the system moves out. So we'll spend the most of the day into the 20s. And then Saturday we'll get a nice spread though in the temperatures from very cold in the morning to close to 50 by afternoon. So these next 2 days, at least for the middle part of the afternoon for Thursday, looks pretty good. And then if you really want some great weather, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right in here. Woof, good stuff, man. I know there's some spring break action going on, so at least our temperatures will start to improve as we head into the weekend on into early next week. So there you go. All right, that was everything I had for you. I did all that in less than 15 minutes. That's pretty good for me. And what's funny is I didn't show you just 3 maps and talk over those same 3 maps and repeat myself 30 times. You actually got to learn some things. That's just a friendly dig. Anyway, I'm just messing around. Let me go to your comments here real quick, and maybe I can answer a couple of questions before we get out of here. Let's see here. Jim from Mustang always checking in. Good to see you there on YouTube. By the way, you guys, it's so funny. Y'all like herding cats sometimes to get you to change platforms or to join dual platforms. I have a hardcore Facebook audience that refuses to join my YouTube channel. And I have a YouTube audience that refuses to join my Facebook channel. You guys are hilarious. It's redundancy. So, in other words, you'll get notified either way, and you can still choose which one you want to watch. But for me, the subscriptions help tell YouTube to show more of the channel, etc., etc. So it benefits me as a content creator when more of you log in and sign up on YouTube. So just kind of keep that in mind if you have a YouTube account. Help a brother out. So there you go. All right, let me go to, they calling for Larry. Oh, and Larry got a haircut today. Maybe we should show you Larry's new do. Maybe I can get Jody to bring him in. So if you want to see Larry, hang on a second. What about Elk City? What about Elk City? That was asked a lot. So Elk City, you're getting a little snow out there for Friday morning, Thursday night, Friday morning. Let's see, Valerie, does the cold air come in earlier than predicted or later? It always comes in earlier. So it always comes in earlier and always comes in a couple of degrees colder than what the models suggest. Tanya wants to know, Dana, hook me up. All right, so Tanya wants to know the winds on Saturday. So I did not talk about Saturday other than the fact that temperatures will be rebounding quite a bit, but let me take a quick leak. Hey, Joe, do you want to bring Larry in here? Okay, Larry's getting primped for stage time, so just hang in there for a second. And while that's happening, I'm going to go look at the winds for Saturday. All right, let's do this one. And here he comes. So the wind's on Saturday. Ooh, still windy, man. Gross. Winds on Saturday are still going to be windy. A little night in the morning, but then they're going to pick up afternoon, gusting up to around 20 to 25 by evening. And then Sunday's really windy, like up around 40 miles an hour. Gust of 45. So, whoa, gust of 50. Here, I'll just show it to you. See, look, that's gust of 50 on Sunday evening. So that's going to be a little windy for our latter half of our weekend. So enjoy the lighter winds on Saturday. Okay, let's see what kind of mood Larry is in. Come here, buddy. Ooh, he just growled at you? He just growled at mommy. Okay, buddy. Yeah. Did she interrupt your nap? Did she interrupt your nap? So he got his little haircut today from PetSmart. So he's good to go. He was a little shaggy there for a while. He had his winter coat going, and I think he lost about a pound of hair. So, you feeling okay, buddy? You know, they call for you all the time. They don't even want to say me. Yeah, they just say, where's Larry? And so here you are. So, he's, I think at the vet, he was about 4, and he was heavy. Vet said he's going to diet. So, he was like 3 for the longest time. And we put him on prednisone because he had a little injury. And that made him hungry, so he started eating us out of house and home. And now the economy's going in the toilet, and your dog food's going to go 10 times as fast. It's about higher. It's about time to put you back on a diet there, buddy. Yeah, we got to trim you back up. All of us, we got to start cutting back. Yeah. So it's like, what you talking about, Willis? Anyway, so now the prednisone makes him eat more. But anyway, got him off of that, so I think now his weight's starting to come back down. Right? Got a lean, mean fighting machine. So sometimes if you should make Larry t-shirts. If a FedEx guy comes or Amazon or even the mailman, he will lose his mind at that door, like where it has the little brain's not going to work, but the little front valance, I'm going to call it, from the blinds. The little what do you call that? Oh. Come on, Aaron, you can think. Anyway, a little piece of wood there at the bottom of the window seal, which I can't seem to think for some reason. He scratches that up like nuts with his little paws here. He's got little vicious things. And so you can definitely tell that there was a dog here, very protective. But he will let you know, and then he'll run out the back door. He's got a little doggy door. And he gives them the who's and what's what on the way out of town. Says don't come back. I think he's actually got himself trained to think that when he, window ledge, thank you. I don't know what's wrong with me. Seriously, I blame everything on COVID. So if I'm talking and I can't remember, or I call something the opposite thing or not the right thing, or I make up a word, it is COVID. And there's going to be some truth to that. Stuff gets in your brain. I think we're all like zombies on The Walking Dead. Just a matter of time before we all turn. But anyway, so... I think he's got himself trained to where the more he carries on, the more he scares them off, and they don't come back, right? Till the next time. So I honestly think that's what he thinks. So, but he loves it. It's a chance to be a dog, be a guard dog. And as you can tell, he's pretty docile. It's 10 o'clock, so it's his bedtime. Yeah, he lets us know when it's really time to go to bed. He's the boss at that point. Isn't that right, buddy? But man, he gets excited for bedtime. You should see this. I mean, you would think it was the best thing in the world. So, alright. Okay, buddy. I'm going to put you down now. Thanks for being a good sport. Saying hi to everybody. Okay? Alright. That was little Larry. Alrighty, well, that's going to be it for me. Thanks you guys for tuning in. And we'll do this again tomorrow lunchtime, about 11:45. And then we'll do it again tomorrow evening, right about the same time, right around 9:30. And we'll see if the storm has gotten a little bit more intense or a little different. Right now, honestly, my personal opinion, I don't expect much to change. the way it's structured. So I'd be surprised if it did. I think at this point we're just going to fine tune exact timing. We'll fine tune exact amounts, and we'll fine tune exact lines in the sand of where you'll get a mixture of the sleet and freezing rain. At this point in time, just bet on a chaotic morning on the roadways, which should probably improve slowly during the day. So expect some wrecks, expect slow time to get to work, all that kind of stuff. So it is what it is. All right, don't worry. Tornado season's just around the corner. All right, you guys have a good night. Sleep well. We'll talk again soon. Take care.